Namaste, beloveds. I am that I am, and this is a very special video, being that I've come to some very deep conclusions and realizations and understandings on which to really stand. And I'm just going to get to it. But to begin, I'm going to start, excuse me, with Muji and this particular song.
Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast.
Love is patient, love is kind, it does not boast.
Love is not proud.
Love is not proud.
It does not dishonor.
It does not dishonor others.
It is not self-seeking.
It is not self-seeking.
Love is not easily endured.
Love is not easily endured.
It keeps no record.
It keeps no records of wrongs.
Love does not delight in evil.
Love does not delight in evil,
rejoices with the truth.
but rejoices with the truth.
It always protects.
It always protects.
Always trusts.
Always trusts.
Always hopes.
Always hopes.
Always perseveres.
Always perseveres.
Love never fails.
Love never fails.
When I was a child,
I
talked like a child.
I talked like a child.
I thought like a child.
I thought like a child.
I reasoned like a child.
I reasoned like a child.
But when I became a man,
But when I became a woman,
I put away
childish ways.
For now, we see only a reflection, as in a mirror.
For now we see only a reflection in a mirror.
Then we shall see.
Then
face to face.
We shall see face to face. And I bumped it, turned it up. And so I'm just going to leave it like that, as is. But I'll put the link below in the box. And that was Muji. And that came from Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, I believe. And it is the fruitage of the Spirit. And the greatest fruit of the Spirit is love. And that is what this video is about. It began days ago, and I was told just to wait. Do not post anything. Just wait. You'll know when you need to post. And I'm like, okay. And let me just get to it. Here we go. It began on the 28th of February, 2019. Began with the image of a zoo and the understanding of what a zoo is and what this zoo correlates to. And I want you to understand of what you do at a zoo and what it takes to make a zoo, what it takes to maintain a zoo. And when that zoo is done and finished, what happens with those animals? Zoo, ... Then the mother was caught and lives in a zoo. The child is born in the zoo and has never been wild and is now being freed. So this mother of this animal, baby child animal, was wild. She has memories of being wild. She has knowledge of what it is to be free. She gives birth to this child in captivity in the zoo. And this child has no memory other than what is in its DNA and its instincts of what being free is all about. All it knows is the zoo and what happens in the zoo. And this is its life. And it knows nothing of the freedom that is its inheritance, its birthright. And now picture this freed animal who has been caged and is now allowed back into the wilderness. And Mama wanted us to understand this is how it feels to come home to us. This is why home seems strange. This is why home seems other than. This is why home seems foreign and unknown territory. It's simply because we've been caught. It's simply because we have been existing in the zoo. And what needs to happen now is just like we adapted to that life in the zoo. We now need to adapt to our life being free of the zoo. Do not look for outside to show you and teach you. It is inside you. It is instinctual. It is your natural way of being. Everything else was learned and taught. How to adapt to this zoo. This is the self-inquiry conclusion. March the 1st, 2019. The search for a male partner for me has always led me away from God, putting the man in God's place. I now claim myself as a divine counterpart or bride of Christ. What does that mean? It means my physical partner must recognize himself as God. Not just a God, but the one and only. He has to know that he is free. He has to be free of his zoo mentality. He must produce abundantly from the fruitage of the Spirit, that which began this video. The fruits of the Spirit. He has to feed me these, and I will feed him them as well. It is an equal exchange of these fruitages. But these fruits must be present, and they must be ripe and ready, and they must be able to grow abundantly in the soil, in the garden that is you. And it cannot do that with the mind there. But let me continue. He must be able to love not only me, but all as himself. See, he will not be jealous. He will not be impatient. He will be long-suffering. He knows how to endure love. And he knows that the greatest of all the fruits that are born from himself and from me is love. Unconditional, unlimited love. This is my true reflection as I am his. My beloved is my Lord, and my Lord is my beloved. March 4th, 2019. And this was this morning. And I woke up at like 4 something this morning, and I think it's like 7 or 8 something now. But anyway, I'm just going to get into it. I woke up with my mind trying to state its case. Now, if you remember a couple of videos before this one, I introduced what was introduced to me into my consciousness as the sadistic mind and the masochistic self-identity that is interwoven, that is Siamese twins. Okay? This is the mind that I'm speaking of. This mind. Okay? This mind that knows it is separate, that does not include, this mind that is the other fruits, that bears the other fruits that are not of the Spirit, that is not long-suffering, that love is not the greatest of value, that is jealous and envious and conniving and petty and greedy and selfish. That mind is the one that I woke up with this morning, that I woke up to, I should say. And it wanted to state its cause. And after dreaming, I was detached from it, but I had a dream, and let me get to it. After dreaming of an old, decaying baby elephant and my granddaughter, and telling her not to be so eager to touch it, touch something she does not know. And I was doing this with right in the righteous mama mode, which was encountering all kinds of opinions and doubts and leading to chaos and more chiding of the mind from those that were within the dream, that were putting me on notice for saying what I was saying to my grandchild. And I didn't write it down, but the dream is so very vivid. At first, I thought it was just a huge big dog who was so mangy and so unkept and so abused that the hair had fallen off. Most of the hair had fallen off of it. You know, this was an ancient elephant, so it was woolly. Okay, an ancient baby elephant, so it was woolly. It was not the elephants that we know today. Okay, keep that in mind. And this elephant part of it seemed to be cut, and it was bleeding, and it was miserable. And here's my granddaughter, little Miss Innocent Happy, come here, let me see you, let me pet you, let me love you. And here's this being, this beast, that is, to the eyes, is so broken, and so infected, and so miserable. And it's coming towards her. And she's beckoning it to come. Come here, come to me. And, I stand up and I snatch her away before she can touch it. And I began to chide her. You don't know where that thing has been. You don't know what that is. Is it yours? Do you know what it is? You should not touch it. Da 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 da. And then there are all these other voices that are, you shouldn't talk to the child that way. She's just curious. Blah, blah, blah. You don't know what would have happened if she touched the thing. Blah, 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 blah. And my instincts were, no, you don't touch. You don't touch. You don't touch. Do you hear me? You don't touch. And that was the dream. And okay. And so I began more rebuking of not just her, but these voices that were now chiding and telling me I was wrong, and it's okay for her to touch it, and all of this and all of that, and just creating a whole circus out of it. And I was watching them, and I was not involved. I was not getting heated and ready to do battle, and ready to go into war, and ready to just, like I usually am. I was with detachment. I was just observing. I was just hearing and not hearing, seeing and not seeing them, because I had stated what I needed to state, and that was that. In my silence, this knowing came from the isness, from Mama. And this is the knowledge that she gave me that I'm finna share with you right now. That memories of the mind, which we hoard, which we hold on to as if it is life itself, our memories, are the dead skin, just like the dead skin cells that we shed, our body sheds. Our memories are the same. And our memories, these dead skin cells, we have made into our clothes, into our skin. And the skin is the biggest organ. And this was coming to me with Michael Jackson's video of Ghosts. And think of the children and the message of and to the children. Same as Smooth Criminal, the long version. Memories of dead things, of yesterday's past, that the sadistic mind uses as a collar and a leash and a muzzle upon the masochistic self that believes it cannot function without its dead memories that it has hoarded and amassed as its true history. That which has the power to contain mystery. my story, self-mastery. The mind reanimates these memories over and over and over and over and over, bringing them back to life, seemingly to life. But this is the stage of zombies. The Walking Dead. Now I know why I needed to watch that show. These are the very leaves themselves. And I want you to look up the esoteric meaning, the spiritual meaning, the metaphysical meaning, just the symbolism of what leaves are. Leaves from trees, beloveds. Leaves. Leaves that fall from the branches in the fall. What you will find will amaze you, as it has amazed me. And the funny thing is that my curtains have leaves on it. My bath shower has leaves on it. There have been just leaves, leaves, leaves everywhere and in everything that I'm looking at. And I'm like, okay, Mama, I can't get past this. I can't act like I don't see this. What is this with the leaves? And the leaves, we think the tree is naked and that the leaves are dead. But that is shared. Those are memories that have fallen away. Those are dead skin cells. Those are dead clothes that have fallen away from the tree. And what they do is cause the nourishment. They cause the compost. They cause the heat for the cold that is coming. They protect the very tree from which they fell from. These are the very leaves themselves that Adam and Eve clothed themselves with in order not to be naked and ashamed after eating the fruit of the knowledge of good and bad. Remember, we began this with the fruitage of the Spirit. And they hid from the Lord's voice. And once thus clothed, they began to lie and blame and shame when the Lord asked them, how do you know you're naked? Who told you you were naked? Who told that tree that your leaves have fallen away? Your memories have fallen away. Who told you this? It is for this reason alone that we say we are sleeping/dreaming under the spell of the mind. What contains the memories? The mind. What did I call the mind? What did Mama call the mind? What did we call the mind? Sadistic. What cannot enter into the garden? The mind. It was separate. It separated itself by saying, eat of me, and you'll be just like God. But see, you were told not to eat of that tree. It has become our favorite play, our favorite movie, our favorite song. We allow and give permission to these memories as our gods. Let me say that again. We allow and give permission to these memories, to these fallen leaves, to these things that we have weaved together to make our clothes so that we don't feel naked. In front of our Lord as our gods, and we do what they tell us because this has been handed down as the way of life, that the way of life in the zoo. That baby only knew how to do what was handed down to it, what it saw in the zoo. Only knew how to dream that dream. Had no recollection, no knowing other than what was inside of itself. That this ain't free. This is not who you truly are. This is limiting you. So what they tell us, because this has been handed down as the way of life, that the great mystery, my story, Master, has given us as the truth of our reality. Now this great mystery, my story, and Master is the mind. This is what the mind has handed us down. This is what the mind has conditioned us with. This is what the mind is the zookeeper, keeps us all in check, keeps feeding us the same old stories, embellishes them, but they're the same old stories. And we are just reliving them. What happens to the animals born in the zoo? They live the same old life each day. The people coming may change. The caretakers may change. But the mind and the mentality and the concept of a zoo, that prison, that cage, which you had to be trapped and tricked into in the first place, has got you. But this has now been observed by and transcended by some. Some have rejected this fruit from the tree of knowledge and have gone back before the dreaming stage began and have eaten of the fruits of life, which has the power to set those other memories on fire and rise from it, from the burning ashes of it, a reborn phoenix, a sage, a true master, a true mystic of self-identity, free like one of those black butterflies that Denise Williams sings about. This peacock turned phoenix is the bird of paradise who sings the sweetest song of all, ascendance, transcendence, transmutation, self-mastery, freedom, jubilee. I am that I am. To be naked is to be divested. To be untouchable by dead memories that only know how to give birth to themselves over and over again. To be unashamed is to not be impacted with the guilt. And before I wrote it as guild, Guild, And then I reread it and edited and turned it into guilt. To the guilt and grief of these dead memories. To be unashamed, to be naked, is to be untouchable by dead memories that only know how to give birth to themselves over and over again. To be unashamed is to not be impacted with the guilt, and grief of these dead memories. And this just took me back to the Nazarites, who didn't cut their hair and didn't touch dead things and so forth and so on. They had strict observations that they had to make. To be free is to be able to see past the dream, to know that it is a slave master from which you must escape, no longer trapped, caught, in cage, contained by the lie that it must keep enacting for the lifeline, amusement, in parentheses, of the sadistic mind and the masochistic self-identity. Understand, beloveds, it is the memories that is the deadliest tool and deadliest weapon that contains the darts of the fruitage that is not of the spirit, that contains the poisons. Okay? The truth is found in the stillness that the mind may not enter, where the tree of life is still in the original garden paradise, guarded by an angel, where Lilith still resides by the way. Adam and Eve were kicked out, excommunicated. Break that word down and look deeper into its meaning and context. Excommunicated. So you no longer have communication with source, with a pure source. You must now be nourished and fed with what? The lies, the fruits that you bear, fruits that you raise. Now mine has to work hard to come up with all this stuff. And it's gotten good at it. Inside that stillness is God, your true awareness, your true consciousness, that which is real and not a dream. That which is real and not a dream, not an illusion. That which has God. What is there inside that stillness that we have called God? That which has no beginning. The angels, Adam, Lilith, and Eve, all had a beginning. All were born of that. That's another thing. Do your due diligence on the word that. It's going to blow your mind. Thus, conscious memories of pure awareness that is maintained in paradise, like pure oxygen, like pure water. The memories here are not dead. They are recorded in the book of life, known as the Akashic Records. How do you master the mind and the self-identity? Easy. Easy, right? Easy. Keep telling it, reminding it that it is dead. Keep telling the mind that thinks it is the life, that it is the true identity, that it's dead. And that you cannot eat what it is offering you. And this is where the story of Snow White came in, with that poison apple. Okay? Blew me away, beloveds. I mean, I am just reeling. I am just reeling. Okay? And you can say this is of the mind. No, this is of God, baby, because this is alive. And this is bearing the fruits. And I'm looking at the fruits that is bearing. And this fruitage is all love. Okay? This does not cause suffering. This does not cause pain. This does not cause dreams. This does not cause deeper sleep. This does not cause depression. This uplifts. This awakens. This inspires. This sets your soul on fire. This brings back knowledge of wisdom and connection with it. Easy. Keep telling it, R-E dash minding, minding it, that it is dead, and that you cannot eat what it is offering you because it is poison. That you are fed only by the grace of God, and you have no need or hunger for anything other than divine grace and the Holy Spirit. And that it may leave its offering at God's feet. And let God measure its importance, its urgency against the vast emptiness, the zero, the goose egg, that which has no beginning and no end. Let your mind just telling you all of this, and you're like, oh my God, oh, oh, oh. No, no. Put it at God's feet. Mind, weigh it. How important is that against the vastness that is God? How would God look at that as being important in the scheme of things, in divine will? What? Put it on the scales of my weigh it. Weigh the spirit by the spirit, baby. Test the spirit by the spirit. Weigh it on the scales of Ma'at / truth and justice that is not blinded by pettiness of its own burning desires and thoughts, but are aligned with the one divine will that does not change. What has no beginning and has no ending does not change. Because it does not even contain time. Time is death. Time is death. What we fear so much and what we separate because of this little sadistic mind thing, time and death, they're the same thing. But what has no beginning and has no ending, what is death? What is time? And when you are able to recognize yourself as that which has no beginning and has no ending, How much fear of death can there be? Like I said, like Mama said, put time and death at the feet of God. The lotus feet rises. The muck is underneath always. Death is underneath, is beneath. It's a trick of the mind that keeps having you dream the same dream over and over and over and over in each reincarnation. Racing to do something before you get to the end. Never allowing you to know what that is unless you have mastered your mind and you know that time is an illusion, just as death is an illusion of the mind. Things that die in dreams, when you wake up, are they dead? And this is how we remember our history. Our history is death and dying. Our history is based on the falling of the leaves and the picking them up and making them our clothes and wearing them and letting them master us, letting them contain the God in us, letting them cage it and put it in the zoo where we can only look in every now and then and visit and say, oh, look. Never knowing that we're looking in a mirror. Of ourselves in a cage that the mind has constructed, and that the identity is gills, makes it so pretty or makes it so ugly so that it can contain. The moment time was born was when you, Adam and Eve, were forced out of the garden. That moment, you became your mind. You fell into that dream state with a beginning and an ending. Understand, when you were excommunicated, God loved you so much that He, she, it, that I am, that gave birth to the understanding of the spirit inside of you, went with you. And you only needed to witness it, to look at it and see your own face, to be re-allowed back into paradise, to be free of the memories, free of the guilt, free of the torture, free of the suffering That is unconditional love. That is the fruit of the Spirit that they were eating before they ate from that tree of knowledge, of self. So, time began. Time itself was born. That is the history of time. If it has a beginning, it has an ending. Mwah. Beloved, wake up and return home. That garden paradise is awaiting you. It never changed. It never left. You left it. And you punish yourself over how many lifetimes? How many battles have you killed parts of yourself? Because your self, mind, insist they're different. Their God is not my God. They don't look like me. I am God. No, you are the sadistic mind, and you are the masochistic self-identity, one and the same, but you are not my Lord. You are not my God. You are not me. I am not you. And now, and know the greatest love of all is to recognize the God within and acknowledge it, her, him, they, we, us, that is formless and without space and time. Then recognize that it is your true mirror. The only one that could be, the only one that could be your mirror is God, is your Lord, is your master, is your maker. And that's the only one that could be. There is no duality. You cannot serve two masters, baby. Mm-mm. There's only one self. That self. I am. Recognize your essence. Look deep into that mirror. Recognize your essence, your worth, your unconditional love, and know thyself. And know thyself. And know thyself. Love thyself. For this is truly the greatest love of all. The greatest love in existence is that I am. And when you know, not just believe, But no, baby, no. The dream fades from its true form back into nothingness. And that is why God can say, I am all and nothing. Because even that which thought itself was something fades into nothing. And I created that too. I am that I am. All else is smoke in and of mirrors. Flawed copies. Flawed mirrors. Okay? AKA memories. Those mirrors that we look in and think that are us, those are memories. Zoo memories. Flawed copies, aka also known as memories of that trapped in a mind that refuses to know it, the one and only true self, that which refuses to acknowledge that. And let me, it came to me yesterday, and I did write this down, but I'm an 80s, I was grew up with in the 80s too. My daughter was born in the 80s, but I was still growing up. And there was a cartoon with dinosaurs in it. And it was so funny. I can't think of the name of it right now, but the baby dinosaur called mama mama, but it called the daddy not the mama. Not the mama. Not the mama. Okay? So this mind, this sadistic mind and this masochistic self-identity, not the mama, baby. You not the mama. No, you not the mama. You can't feed me. You not the mama. I don't want no Similac. Whew. So those memories and everything that you keep trying to give me to make me confused, to take me away from the true reflection of who I am. You not the mama. You not the mama of me. You didn't have me. No. Mm-mm. You can't clothe me with that no more. And this, not the mama that refuses to know itself, that refuses to know the one and only true self, that has no need to dream of itself as greater or less than. Wait a minute, I got that messed up. The mind even wants to mess that up. You see what I'm saying? You see what you got to deal with? Boy, that mind, excuse me. That I am. That one who refuses to know it, thy one and only true self, that has no need to dream of itself as greater or less than. I am that. I am not the one that needs to dream of what life is. I am not the one that needs to dream what right and wrong is, and if this is okay, and if I'm male or if I'm female or if I'm fat or if I'm black or if I'm Chickamauga Cherokee or if I'm American or if I'm whatever. I am that I am, and I am all of that. All and nothing. Contain that. Put it at God's feet. Weigh it. In the beginning was the Word, and there are none greater than that. In the beginning was the Word, and there are none greater than that. That, I got little stars. Not the sun, not the moon, not the stars, for all are one. That which is that, which is not, that which will always be, I am that. And from that one came many, without beginnings or endings. We are woke, is that. Who are they? What are they? Why are they? When are they? Where are they? They are that. Know thyself, and to thine own self be true, be real, be that. So allow your inner Osiris, your Prince Charming, to kiss you and wake you up. He is your divine masculine within. He is your Lord, Adonai. He is your yin or your yang, and your yang, your yin and your yang. He is your balance. He is your counterpart. He is the AT and you are the TH. Come together, you are that. The act. And so it is that the Ra-Re union, the reunion, known as enlightenment, is the sacred marriage. That which has been joined together, let no mind try to part. And that is how it all came to me. And that is how I have shared it with you. And I just want to say that if I were a flower, my scent right now would be happiness. It would be happiness, unconditional happiness, unconditional joy, it would be the fruits of the Spirit in all its regalness, in all its beauty, in all its true essence. We are going into a glorious new stage of evolution as human beings, recognizing themselves as God. So this is the marriage of the flesh to the spirit. with no mother-in-law or father-in-law mind. No history. No more stories. You gotta create your own. You gotta live free, wild and free. And you've got to reflect that light, that love, which is that I am. And the more you revisit this, the more that mind, when it comes up, you set it at God's feet. See how important it is. Mm. 101, 06, 07 now. Beloveds, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This journey, this quest, this garden reclaimed, this paradise is fertile, it's ripe, and it's ready with this abundance for all. And there is no greater love. That which you are searching for is where you're searching from. The one that brought you here is the one that takes you home. Know thyself. Manifest the fruitage of the Spirit. Become the fruitage, become the tree that bears this kind of fruit. Become the tree that is nourished from this kind of fruit. What is that saying? We are what we eat. If only your mind is nourishing you of stories that are mysteries that you can't master, because how many billions of trillions of years? It's time. It's time. Know thyself. Look deep. Fear nothing. You are not alone. You are looking into heaven, and you don't even know it. Namaste, beloveds. I love us. I will continue praying for us. And I will continue absorbing the nutrients of the Holy Spirit that feeds me, that feeds us. That is the grace of God. Aho, sun, a moon, and the stars, baby.